Montreal, Canada, and soon, after beginning his professional career in 1987, made the move to the Garden State of New Jersey to find more competition. Now makes his home in Jersey City. Gatti, a former 5-time Canadian Golden Gloves champ, 20-2 with 15 knockouts, and has made it all the way up to a number 3 ranking by the WBA as a middleweight. This his first world title shot.
There's no tomorrow. Finally came, baby. It's your time, Joe. Let's go, Joe. It's your time, Joe. Hey! Yeah! Let's go, baby. It's your time, Joe. It's your time. That's it. You waited a long time. You waited a long time. You waited a long time. You waited a long time.
Joe Gatti, who aside from his real-life ring duties will be soon appearing in a movie starring Robert De Niro titled A Bronx Tale. And would you believe it, Gatti plays a local boxing hero, typecast again. And here is the champion, Terry Norris, out of Lubbock, Texas, but makes his home in San Diego. Norris coming off the adventurous 3 rounds with Australian Troy Waters back in June in his hometown of San Diego, tasting the canvas for only the 2nd time in his career, although he bounced back to win convincingly. Tonight, Norris making his 10th title defense. While many are focused on the idea that tonight's main event should clarify who's the best pound for pound in the world, Whitaker or Chavez, what about this guy, Terry Norris, who feels he could beat either one? Norris, who seems resigned to the fact that he'll never get to fight Chavez because of the weight difference, will probably look to move up to middleweight eventually. But he told us he hasn't totally discounted the possibility of Sunday meeting Chavez. Let's see how they stack up. The tail of the tape, Norris and Gatti, both 26 years old. The 1.5-inch height advantage for the challenger. The weight is almost even, and a 4-inch reach advantage for Gatti. Let's check the rules according to the WBC 10-point must system in effect. 3 judges will score the fight. No standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight, and a fighter cannot be saved by the bell except in the final round. So here at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas, we are set for the WBC Super Welterweight Championship. Let's get the introductions from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to our second world title main event, as brought to you by Don King Productions in association with Main Events Monitor, along with King Vision and SET Pay-Per-View, as sponsored by the San Antonio Express News and Corona Beer. At this time, we present the WBC Super Welterweight Championship. This bout is sanctioned by the World Boxing Council, President Jose Sulaiman, supervisors at ringside Juan Sanchez and Dick Cole. Along with the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation, the executive director is Jack Garrison. At this time, we introduce ringside Dave Brown, Newton Campos, and Gail Van Hoy. Introducing the referee in charge, he will be giving instructions after the introductions, David Avalos. All right, fans, here we go with the WBC Super Welterweight Championship of the World, scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first the challenger on my right, fighting out of the red corner. He enters the ring wearing white trunks with red and green trim, originally from Montreal, Canada, now fighting out of Jersey City, New Jersey. He weighed in at 153 3/4 pounds. His record includes 20 losses with 15 wins by knockout. He is ranked the number 9 for welterweight contender by the WBC. Please welcome tonight's challenger, known as Lightning, Joe Gatti. And his opponent across the ring. On my left, fighting out of the blue corner, the defending champion, entering the ring with white trunks and red trim. Fighting out of First Fighters Squadron in Campo, California, by way of Lubbock, Texas. He weighed in at 153 1/2 pounds with an outstanding record of 35 wins, 3 losses, 21 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, making his 10th defense of his title, please welcome one of the young superstars of boxing today, the defending WBC Super Welterweight Champion of the World, Terrible Terry Norris. Once again, he is your referee in charge, David Avalos.
Okay, you have both already received your instructions. Remember, obey my commands at all times. Protect yourselves at all times. Shake hands, return to your corners.
Norris told us yesterday if there's one thing he learned from his last fight when he was knocked down in the second, it's don't take anybody for granted. That includes Joe Gatti. No more messing around. You've got to stay focused 100%. Whoa, a wild swing and a miss at the outset by Gatti. And that's what Norris said he expected might happen at the start of the fight.
I guess you did see the water spot.
Yes, yes. He watched the tapes closely. Norris said he expects Gatti to come out and throw bombs. And he's a prophet, winging away with telegraph's wide-ranging punches.
Now don't keep your eyes off this set and don't leave, because this is kind of explosive and it's going to end one way or another early.
Gatti, a 20-1 underdog. He's been knocked down twice as a pro, just in case. Same for Norris, including that last fight.
Don't pull back.
Body punching there by Terry Norris. Gatti told us he feels Norris is most dangerous the first 3 rounds. You don't have to be a prophet to know that. Down he goes! A crunching left hook by Terry Norris.
Well, he wasn't able to weather that storm for 3 rounds, at least not yet. He has a good jab. He's going to have to use it now, but his legs are not under him.
Okay. And a long way to go. Just under 2 minutes in round 1.
And that's what tends the difference in class.
It could be over. Gatti goes down through the ropes. Referee David Avalos has to help him back up. We haven't gotten any official signal, but it appears as if the fight is over.
Oh, this fight is over. He's
They're trying to roll him back into the canvas. He's in the lap of the commissioners over there. And that's what happens when you get two different category of fighters. This kid weighed 170 pounds. He was mistaken that weight was going to equal speed and strength. And all he got was an introduction to big-time fighting. You don't do that with a Norris and expect to survive.
And Ferdy and Bobby, what a contrast between the first fight and this fight. The first fight going the distance, a draw for Azuma Nelson after the controversy. And now, in the opening minutes of the fight, Terry Norris dispatches Joe Gatti easily.
The only difference in this fight was everybody expected this ending, whereas no one expected and could expect and foresee that rare and bizarre ending of the Azuma Nelson fight.
You know, Gatti came in and didn't move quite as much as he really should have. He said he had to weather the storm in the first 3 rounds, but he came out a little too aggressive maybe, even with that big sloppy right hand. But he was throwing a few punches, some clean shots inside, using a good jab, but not paying attention to what happens afterward, and the counter just caught him cold.
So they check things out over there in the Joe Gatti corner. I think more embarrassed than anything else right now.
I think they're telling him, welcome to big-time boxing. This is what it feels like when you go up against the champion of the world.
You was doing good, man.
Let's go to the first knockdown, which was, in effect, the only thing that needed. Now, keep your eyes on Norris. This hook, left hook, right on the button. Goodbye. He might as well not have gotten up on it.
Well, when he got up, he faced a lot more danger because he wasn't totally coherent. And you're watching the second knockdown, back immediately to the ropes, looking to cover up, trying to throw the jab to keep him off. But Terry comes in, rips up inside, and now it's just a matter of time. And his last 2 or 3 shots here and there, that was it. I think he caught one dead in the eye, but he was out, and on his way down, he got a little bit of an exclamation point put on it.
And he may have broken his nose from the way he's doing that. Look at that. I mean, that was big time damage on the way down, and Terry doesn't stop till you get all the way down to the ground.
Terry with his son and wife alongside now, celebrating the victory, goes to 36-3 with 22 knockouts, 15 consecutive victories, and 6 straight KOs. The victim, Joe Gatti, who falls to 20-3. We understand that's a new time record for the super welterweight championship in terms of Norris's disposing of Joe Gatti. We'll get the official time momentarily as Norris makes his 10th title defense and making quick work of Joe Gatti. We are set for the official time. Let's go up into the ring and Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time 1 minute, 28 seconds in round number 1. The referee in charge, David Avalos, stops the contest. The winner by way of technical knockout and still champion, terrible Terry Norris.
So Terry Norris, 128 of the first round, knocking out Joe Gatti with the second knockdown. The second one actually putting Gatti through the ropes. 128 of round 1. That's a new time record for the super welterweight championship. 149 was the previous record. While we're waiting, let's go over to Montel Williams.
Steve, I'm in the dressing room with Sweet Pea, Pernell, Whitaker. Look, I'm telling you, there's 60,000 people out there, 60,000 plus, maybe 60,000 of them are rooting for the underdog, the challenger. What are you going to do to turn them around?
Well, listen, go out there and perform, put on a great show, and I see by the 4th round which way to be cheering.
Well, and Lou keeps saying something about a Michael Jordan. What is this Michael Jordan move? Is there a secret weapon back here?
Well, yeah, we got a basketball in the corner that we're gonna dribble it off his head.
Well, there you go. Well, you heard it right here first. Back to you, Steve.
All right, Montel, thanks very much. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker, a huge basketball fan. He likens this to being a member of the dream team with all the attention bestowed. All right, we go from Montel to the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco, who's standing by with the champion. Doc?
Well, you said it was going to be fast, but that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I had to get it over with. You know, they was running their mouth. The whole camp was running their mouth. I got tired of it, you know, and he said something, voiced something at the weigh-ins, and I just took it out on him tonight.
Did you say welcome to big-time boxing as he was going down that lane?
Well, I should have, because he's initiated.
Welcome and goodbye.
Yeah.
Well, I think he thought he would land a couple of hard shots. You defended him very well. The first good shot you landed was the end of the fight.
Well, the real good shot that I landed was a good hook. Caught him off. He was on my neck, trying to throw some body shots or whatever. And I came up when he dropped his hand. I noticed he had dropped his hand. Caught him with a good left hook, right on the chin area, and dropped him.
Yeah,
and then
the second was almost needless punishment, because I don't think he could have stood up by himself for very long.
Really, I think it should have been over with, because you know, he was hurt. He didn't know where he was at, and I just put a little more punishment on him.
All right, Don King took a lot of trouble to have a very big press conference in New York announcing all the middleweights going to get together and all of them going to fight. Is this the first stage? Or
the first one. This was the first match of the middleweight series. Now Terry goes on to the second phase with Simon Brown.
What's Simon?
We're going to go right on down the line. We're going to keep them all fighting. Julian Jackson, Reggie Johnson. If Reggie Johnson get by, it's mandatory with that guy, you know. And so it's going to, whatever, John David Jackson. So we're going to seriously start. He started it out with a bang. And we're looking for more and better, exciting things on Showtime and Kingfisher and SCT.
All right, one quick word from an excellent manager, Joe Adams. You got to be satisfied.
Oh, we're perfectly satisfied. The focus was there. You could see that. Come in, dropped him, and then didn't get too anxious, went in and just took care of it.
And you got to also be satisfied, as I am, as all of us are that love boxing, to have a tournament where everybody's going to have a chance to see who's the top dog, where everybody's got a chance.
I think you just seen the beginning of one of the best tournaments that's ever going to be in boxing. You just seen the very beginning of it.
Well, it certainly was an up after that first downer where that bizarre ending of the fight came through. I'm going to go back to Steve Albert for a moment and see if we can get the other man to say something to us.
All right, thank you very much, Ferdy. So we learned that Terry Norris will probably go up against Simon Brown next, late November, early December, on the same card as Reggie Johnson, Julian Jackson for Johnson's WBA middleweight championship. And Norris, if he beats Brown, would then fight the winner of Johnson-Jackson in the middleweight elimination tournament. Terry Norris, victorious, 1:28 of the first round.
It's a quickie. Here they have the knockdown. I think this is the first one coming up. And again, you know, the kid's trying. He's coming in and a counter hook. He's not paying attention. He's not looking. It caught him looking a different direction on the ground. Second knockdown. This is academic now. He's on his ropes. His back's to it. He's just kind of trying to survive the round, get his faculties back in order. But a couple of good shots underneath. Open him up. Boom. That's the closer. And there's just two more to put, as I said before, an exclamation point. He gave him a little message, I guess.
And as Ferdy pointed out, Bobby, it appeared, and Ferdy's the doctor, as if he may have broken his nose in the process.
That's something that we all have to live with.
You would know.
Yes, I would.
You would know. I mentioned 1:28 of the first round, the previous record for quickness in a super welterweight championship fight. Wajima knocking out Tiberia at 1:49 of the first round. So this huge crowd here at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. What we've all been waiting for the fight. The WBC welterweight championship between Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker and Julio Cesar Chavez.